Gina Carano has laid down the gauntlet for Bob Iger in Disney. And now we've got to ask ourselves, are we going to see a Gina Carano lawsuit against Bob Iger, against Disney for all of the past actions, particularly what went down on Twitter? And the consequences here could be absolutely huge because we're talking about potential defamation, a defamation case. So we're going to go into Gina Carano's statements, what the actual claim could be, the lawsuit, what it could be, and whether or not it has a shot at winning. Of course, this is The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge, and I am Andrew Esquire, American attorney, currently in Tokyo, Japan, and bringing you the best and most up-to-date news on everything Disney, particularly involving the lawsuits. So let's jump right into it. What exactly did Miss Carano say? Well, we have her statement over here on Twitter. This is a statement that she made just a little while ago, but she commented straight off the bat, not holding any punches here, going right for Disney and right for Bob Iger. So just to read this off and get right into the claims, Gina said, "Do you think this behavior of creating bots was exclusive to HBO Max and that maybe other major studios do this as well?" Pause there. This is in response to an article talking about HBO Max officials, executives that have been proven to have created bot accounts to attack critical YouTubers, critical voices on the internet. People like, well, my channel, other channels, folks out there that aren't so friendly to these studios when they're making mistake after mistake after mistake. Well, they go out there and they create these bot accounts. They create these accounts with no followers, that are just out there with one or two followers that just end up spamming your channel, spamming your YouTube, spamming your Twitter, spamming your even a Rumble now. You can see that happen. You see this happen on many different platforms where folks come out there, they create a fake account, and they attack your person. They attack you for the content you make because, well, they don't want to come out there as Disney and do that. They don't want to come out there as HBO and do that. They want to do that secretly. So she's calling this out there, and she goes right into it, saying in 2016, Bob Iger said Disney was basically inches away from buying Twitter, but pulled out of the deal at the last minute, saying they did a little more research and said about Twitter users, we at this point estimated with some of Twitter's help that a substantial portion, not a majority, were not real. So saying there are a lot of bots on Twitter. And we know that. Elon himself confirmed that. Elon himself said that during the acquisition. And that was part of what Elon was able to haggle Twitter down on, because most of what they had, most of their value was bots, right? They had a lot of bot users, and a lot of corporate accounts were pushing bots. We knew that going in. We just didn't name names. Now, we did have the Twitter files when we knew that the federal government was interfering on Twitter, and we knew there was other games that were being played. There's games that are being played on many social media platforms: YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, Twitch. These are no exceptions. Instagram. There are no exceptions on these other platforms. But when this happened, when Elon took over, we really got a lot of this exposed. So what do you think of that substantial portion of fake users grew to from 2016 to before Elon took over X or Twitter in 2022? How big did the bot armies get? Who were the bot armies created by, and to do what? Full stop there, saying, okay, who would have an interest in attacking people? Oh, I get it. Corporate interests. Corporate interests have a strong, clear goal of attacking those critical voices, attacking those folks that are not favorable to them. So of course they would go and do that, right? That makes complete sense. That checks out in terms of interest aligned with ability. So continuing, why buy Twitter and deal with the headache when you can create armies of bots and control the narrative for much, much less money and energy? It does your promoting for you without making it look like you're promoting yourself. Look, we're popular on all these accounts, strangely liked by a bunch of accounts with no names. It must be good. There we go. So you have it both ways, right? So these bot armies, they can be used to attack, right? So attack your critics, and they can be used to defend and inflate. So they can be used to defend and inflate your own property, your own shows, your own channels. We saw this with Brie Larson. We saw this with many other channels where they would pop up and they'd have all these subscribers and followers. But whenever they would do a live stream, it was kind of funny. They wouldn't have that much active engagement, right? All of a sudden, these people would disappear, right? Or they would disable the dislike button or they disable the comments so that the real comments couldn't get through. All these games that they play on a regular basis, we saw that with folks coming over, particularly from the mainstream media and the mainstream studios, into other platforms, social media platforms. But what if it was used for something much sinister? And here's the lawsuit, people. These damn critical YouTubers, hey-o, have too many followers. They are gaining traction. Let's censor them. Yes, as they do on a regular basis, guys. And by the way, make sure we're talking about censorship, you guys are smashing the like button, that you are following this channel as well as other good channels, other good YouTubers, because YouTube routinely unsubscribes folks. So you have to make sure you're still liking, following those folks. So if you do that right now, appreciate it. But these damn critical YouTubers, too many followers. So let's just send in a fake bot army, just enough to get the yes men and useful idiots on board and rolling. That leads to firing a person who thinks differently because they can't control their voice. Need a reason to fire her? Get this hashtag trending. Say she said something anti-Semitic when she isn't at all. Twist her words, and hey, as long as it's in the headlines, no one will ever ask any questions. It must be true. So now Gina is laying out a case for defamation. She's saying that Disney created, right? Because Bob Iger, right? And Disney created a bot army to come after her and silence her and control her because she thinks differently, because she thinks outside the box, because she doesn't bend the knee to the woke narrative. I actually told them in an email and over the phone that these bot armies and how they start negative narratives, and the young kids would join in, not realizing they're being manipulated. And then websites and small news jumps on board to be cool with the kids. And before you know it, you're trending. And then Hollywood media devours it. I told them I believe that is what was happening to me. A manipulative mob being used every day to spread propaganda to protect the most corrupt. They didn't need to buy Twitter. They just needed to buy the narrative. Why does everyone laugh off the fact that when the suits do something wrong, it's, oh, how silly of these harmless little suits, instead of the suits being forced to grovel and correct the wrong they do, just like they demand so many others do, like they demand we do on YouTube, by the way. It's not like they know how to apologize. They write the playbook on fake apologies. A corporate apology is something for a reason. They have literally destroyed careers and livelihoods and get sympathy pieces written on them, while those whose lives get destroyed just for having an opinion, and that was before its time, or made a mistake and hurt feelings, get destroyed. The action of the bot armies is actually a bigger offense than people are realizing. How many lives were ruined because of Twitter bots canceling them? So pause there. She's saying how many? So that is queuing up for a class action even. She's got class action language saying this happened to a lot of people. We can certify a class. Imagine a bunch of class of YouTubers that were attacked, that were hurt, that can prove damage over bot attacks, including Gina Carano. In defamation lawsuits, she's saying it. She's saying the word now. You need to have evidence of intent to do harm. Defamation lawsuits are very tricky, especially when you're going against someone with endless amounts of cash. I would say sending in bot armies to go after people they don't agree with qualifies them as intent to do harm. And I believe a jury would agree. Gina here is spelling out. She is saying, this is a case. I think I have a case. I think I can sue. This isn't beating around the bush. This is very clear language. This is all short of saying, I filed the complaint. And this is all saying it is coming. I am looking for others to join me in this quest against Bob Iger and Disney. Oh, what a day. What a day. Another lawsuit for the tragic kingdom. Could get very interesting if ex or current employees came forward with more evidence. Ruh-roh. Looks like Gina is dangling out there, there may already be other ex or current employees that are getting out information, whether they're leaking it, they're willing to give a deposition, they're willing to testify, they're willing to blow the whistle. Disney is going to be in deep, deep pixie dust over this. Aren't you sick of the abuse of power? Gina continues. Would you sell your soul and still not end up in the 1% and this benefits? Who wants to be in the 1% anyway when it is betraying humanity and selling your soul? Don't pass this social credit score BS on to the next generations. Artists throughout history are at their best when they're not in lockstep. It's what we love about them. Independent creators get busy and don't be compromised when you climb to the top. Artists are at the top. Take your leashes off. And that's the end of the post here, and citing the account from Bounding Into Comics on the HBO Max troll army post. So right there, we've got it, folks. I mean, this is coming from a lawyer. This is someone who's speaking out saying she's using the language there. She's telling you she's going to sue. The only thing is, will it be a class action? Will it be something else? I don't know right now whether it'll be class action or she'll go individually. She'll just go with herself. But what I do know is she may have a very strong case for defamation. I can tell you guys that they can, especially if Elon is cooperative here, which I believe he would be, if they can trace those back to the corporate entities or entities that were working on behalf of those corporations, they've got it. That is going to be absolutely malice, absolutely intent, wrongful intent. And there's clear damage to Ms. Carano's career, to her reputation. So you could absolutely see damages here. What do you guys think? Are we going to see a lawsuit here? Are we going to see something come? I certainly believe so, but I want to know what you guys think. Please let me know in the comments below whether you agree, disagree. It is all welcome here on The Legal Mindset, where we teach you to be your own judge. Until next time, guys, take care, stay based. Peace.